Hello, and thank you for checking out our guide on initial configuration of Zoom within your Learn course space. I've already logged into Learn, and today we will be using general biology as our example. Scrolling down here on the left, we have the course tools menu, and then on the bottom of that page, we have Zoom meeting. That takes us to the Zoom meeting integration, and we're going to get started by scheduling a new meeting. General biology, in this case, auto-populates for the topic. That means the title that will appear, but we also recommend possibly listing the days and time it will be happening. The description can be left blank, so let's go ahead and look at the when. We'll set, in this example, starting on Monday at 5 p.m. and go for 1 hour. The duration goes in 1 hour increments and 15-minute increments, and there's no worries that if you go over that set duration, nobody is kicked out automatically. The meeting is only ended when the host says so. Now, looking at the recurring meeting options, if you want to just do it quick and easy, you can say that no fixed time, and now you have an always available meeting room, and students could reference that title for when to meet. You do have the option, if you'd like to say set up that weekly meeting and say, in this instance, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the end date will be December 13th. That should carry us into finals or even farther if you want. And now we'll see what that looks like when we're done with the other settings of all these different instances popping up. Registration required is really not necessary in a class. Only your students will see this. That is something that carried over from the main Zoom tool. Video for host and participants, off or on, is pretty much your own call. No real need to make them have video on, but you can if you'd like to, and that can be changed once you're in the meeting. Audio, we recommend using both, so students that might be having any issues with their computer audio could use a telephone to dial in. That is via a long distance number and meeting ID code that are available from the meeting invite or in the meeting itself. Require meeting password is not something we recommend for the main course space, but could be helpful if you're creating team work rooms for certain sets of students and wanted to create a unique password that only a few students would have access to. All students would see the room is available in that first page's list, but they wouldn't be able to get in if they don't have that password. Enable join before host is good in case students want to join in and check audio and video or other settings before you get to that room. Mute participants upon entry can be helpful if you want to cut down on any distracting noises as students join in. They will still have chat capability, and that setting can be changed during the meeting. Enable waiting room is something we wouldn't recommend for the normal course space, but if you were doing office hours, that would allow you to have a queue outside of your main meeting room. When you're the host, you would get a notification that somebody has entered into the waiting room, so you could choose when to allow them in, one at a time or as they show up to get multiple people in. Record the meeting automatically will not actually start automatically, but it will instead prompt you to record to the cloud or to the PC you're on. Alternative host would allow you to put somebody's email address in and they get an invite to join as with host permissions. That way they would have the ability to control sharing content and participants' mics or cameras. We'll go ahead and hit save. From this page, we get some confirmation of what this is. Calendar invites are up here, but your students will see that in the Zoom tool, so you don't necessarily have to send those out unless you really want to hammer them over the head with that. We're going to scroll to the top here and follow the breadcrumb trail back to course meetings. And now we see all of these instances going on the Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If we had done the option to just have the one that's always available, you would just see one line here. You as the instructor have the ability to delete it. But if you were in the student view, they would only have the ability to start. They would also not have the schedule a new meeting option. Looking at some of the other tabs here, previous meeting would allow you to see ones that have happened in the past and check out information on that. Your personal meeting room kind of has your auto-populated information for your personal meeting room. That might be something as a quick ad hoc meeting you'd like to do and does not necessarily something you'd want associated with your course space. Cloud recordings would allow you to see recordings that you've made while testing this out. Unfortunately, students do not have access to this tab, so if you need to share a recording with them, you would have to click into the share option and copy that link to distribute as needed, either posted in Learn or sent via email. You could also download these as MP4 files or MP3 for the audio only option if you'd like to have more control over editing.